Hello, it is day 11 of Veganuary, and today I'm going to tackle another difficult topic, and that is what to do if your friends and family don't accept your decision. Okay, when you make the decision to change to a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet, there may be people around you, and not necessarily, there may be people around you who don't agree with it. They either think it's some sort of silly fad diet, or they become worried that you're suddenly going to join a cult and disappear, or they just don't like it. Maybe it just makes them feel uncomfortable, or they don't like change. Okay, lots and lots of reasons. But you may well find somebody in your friends, at your work, or in your family is not happy with your decision and doesn't accept your decision. And I just want to talk about some of the ways to deal with that, some of the ways that I dealt with that. The first thing that I would say is when you make such a big lifestyle change as going vegan is you will learn who your friends are. And by that, I mean you will learn who will support you and who is a real friend or not. When I went vegan, first of all, most of my friends were absolutely very supportive with my decision. They know that I do crazy stuff, I'm very spiritual and I do all my healing and my readings, and they know that I like things that are a little bit different, and they just accept me for who I am and they get on with it. I did have one friend who just did not accept the fact that I was vegan at all and actually did their best to sabotage my new lifestyle. They actually called me up and invited me over for a roast dinner and said it was lamb. And I said, well, that sounds very nice, but I don't eat lamb anymore. I'm vegan now. And they were like, oh, yes, well, it's lamb. You really like lamb. Are you sure you don't want to come? And I was like, no, I'll still come. I'm very happy to come to dinner for your house, but can you just leave the meat off my plate? And I was really nice and polite about it. And I was like, look, you can cook all the vegetables and everything, and just don't give me any of the meat gravy. If you want, I can bring my own gravy. Because this is somebody I'd been friends with, or I thought I'd been friends with for a long time. And I thought, well, I'm sure they can just, help me out here. I'm quite a new vegan and I'm still finding my way, and I'd still love to come over for dinner and see you and spend time with you. I just don't want to eat the lamb, because that's a lamb. And in the end, they said, no, I've got a big joint that needs eating, and if you're not going to eat it, there's no point. And they put the phone down on me. And that was kind of a wake-up moment for me, if I'm honest. It was a wake-up call, and it was is this person really my friend? Because that's not how friends act. And it was just so rude. And it got me thinking about past experiences that I'd had with that person. And it got me to realise that they weren't actually a friend at all. They were actually more of a frenemy. And it opened my eyes to the fact that I'd made this decision. They were being openly hostile, even more so than they had been with me in the past when they'd been unpleasant to me. And it was just kind of like the final straw. And I woke up and went, whoa, this person is not my friend. So you will learn who your friends are, okay, who your real friends are and who your fair weather friends are. With family, it's a little bit more tricky because you can't really, well, you can disown your family, but it's quite extreme to do that. You may not be particularly friendly with your family anyway. I mean, you may be very close with your family. Everybody's different, and they may not accept your decision, but with anybody, with family or friends, I find the best way to deal with it is to get as much information about being vegan as possible, because very often the reason they don't accept your decision or they're worried about your decision is because they're worried you're not going to be eating enough, or you're not going to be eating the right things, or they've heard horror stories about people who died from going vegan, or who were suffered malnutrition, or who weren't very well as a result. And so the best thing that you can do is do lots and lots of research so that you can give them all the facts when they ask you the question, yes, but what about protein? What about B12? Are you going to die? No, I'm not going to die. Is it a cult? No, it's not a cult. I'm not about to, give all my money away and, go and live in a, retreat somewhere or commune somewhere. It's not like that. It's none of those things, because people have all kinds of misconceptions to do with veganism. So the best thing that you can do is to get informed, get all the information so that you can then explain to them what it's about, why it's okay, why it's healthy, what you're doing to make sure that you eat a balanced diet, and how they can help cater for you if you go to their house for a meal, or if you're eating together. And do it, in a with respect and do it in an adult manner. And most people will respond quite well to that, okay? There will always be some people who don't, but they are just going to have to accept your decision, okay? If you're an adult, they're just going to have to accept your decision. If you're not an adult, that can be a little bit more tricky, you know, and you may have to sort of play the long game with your veganism, avoiding as much as you can. You may find it difficult if you're under 18 or under 21 or whatever the age of majority is it where you live. But if you're an adult, then I'm afraid other people have to accept your decisions, okay? And they have to accept the fact that you are now vegan. And you may have to learn to stand up to yourself, and that may be the first time that you've ever had to do that. So don't worry, it does happen. For me personally, there's a motorbike going by, apologies if you could hear that. It's a very loud one. Where was I? Yes, not everyone will accept your decisions, okay? Personally, it really wasn't too bad for me. There were literally just 1 or 2 people who made trouble. But you may find they're in the minority, okay? As long as you give people all the information about why you're doing it, all the good stuff, give them all the information to reassure them that what you're doing is safe, that you're not about to run off and join some sort of cult, because some people have that misconception that being vegan is like being a cult member. I don't know where that came from, but it did apparently. Or, you know, whatever it is, find out what their concerns are when people say they're not happy about you being vegan. Rather than go on the defensive and say, well, it's my decision, you know, you can say, well, why? Why do you feel uncomfortable with me being vegan? What is it that you're worried about? You know, and talk to them and let them tell you what their concerns are so that you can address those concerns, and then they can be reassured and they may be absolutely fine with it, especially if it's your mum. They just want to know that you're eating enough and you're eating the right things and that you're going to be healthy and well. Okay, so the best advice I can give you is read up on everything, get all the information so that you can reassure all your family and friends that it's okay. You're not any different, you're just following a new lifestyle, you know, you can even explain why you're doing it, okay, for environmental reasons, for health reasons, and you may find people around you start to change as well and go, oh, that's a really good idea, I might join you on that, especially if they live in the same house as you. It makes it really easy, okay. You will find some people are less helpful, might tease you. You're going to have to put up with a lot of teasing, okay? Especially if your friends like mine are. Yeah, you get teased, but it's okay, right? Don't take it personally. Remember, they're not teasing you. They're reacting to a truth that they're not comfortable with. They may be struggling with cognitive dissonance, okay? So they may know in their heart of hearts that it's wrong to eat meat, but they've got another layer of conditioning on top of that from the society they grew up in that tells them it's okay to do it, although they know it's not okay to kill animals, but it is okay to kill animals, but it's not okay to kill animals, but it is okay to kill animals. And that's a very, very difficult thing to deal with, okay? Cognitive dissonance actually causes pain, okay? It sets off the same receptors in your brain as physical pain, all right? So it's difficult for people to deal with, and they may resort to mocking you or even being outwardly hostile towards you. So try not to be too hard on them, okay? Some people you may have to distance yourself from, others you may just find out they're not your friends at all, okay? More tricky if it's family, or you may just have to keep your distance from certain family members if necessary for a certain amount of time until you can make you make peace with them and come to some sort of understanding where they understand why you're doing it, that you're not doing it to spite them or make them feel bad, and so they can understand, because I do find that people respond a lot better to you if they understand why, if they understand the why and that it's okay and that it's safe. A lot of the arguments will just completely disappear. You blow it all out of the water, and then everybody can just get on with their lives. So don't worry if it happens. Try to approach it logically, pragmatically, and reassure family and friends that it's all okay, it is safe, and that they're welcome to join you if you want. I like to do that. Why don't you join me on this vegan journey I'm on? It's really fun. Have some of this delicious vegan chocolate. You may even convert a few. So it may not be all bad, okay? Just make sure you're armed with knowledge, and you should be able to smooth things over with any family or friends who aren't comfortable at first.